Okay, one other thing I need to show you real quick. Before you can glue, you need to go ahead and you need to sand this on the outside, and just to give yourself, make sure it gets a good grip on it on both sides. Also, on the front, I found out that installing this, you're going to have to cut. You need to leave as much angle as you can, but I cut this away so it'll fit in between the wood housing up there. This comes out and has a whole lot of flashing, and you need to trim it back a little until it fits in there easily. And all this should be pre-fitted before you ever get to this point, but I just wanted to come back and show you that. So I'm going to get this installed, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, just two quick things. Before you install the cockpit, you need to put some tape around here. You actually should go a little bit lower, because I actually got a little bit of epoxy here. I was able to wipe it off before it got dry though. You should put some tape here to cover any epoxy that you might get on the outside of this trying to put it in. I put epoxy on the inside lip and also of the fuselage, and also on the lip of the cockpit itself. Once you get that done, there is a piece of ABS supplied. It's oversized. You'll have to fit it to the back. There's a lip all the way around that cockpit, like I showed you. You trim most of it away, but it gives you a gluing surface, and this creates a really good tight box for the back. You want to get it close to the top as you can, very little gap. Glue it in place, paint it, and glue it in place. The chair or the pilot seat will cover up 90% of that the gap that you would see there. But you can take a piece of balsa wood or fiberglass cloth and tie the backing of the cockpit to the headrest itself. Anyway, I'm going to get this piece painted and put in, and then we'll move to the third video, which will show just a final couple things we got to do to get this cockpit locked in. Okay, here we are with the back with finishing up on this cockpit. I have installed the rear piece here. It's been glued in. I also went and masked this off and painted the rear of the headrest the same color as the interior. When you're gluing in the back piece of ABS, I would use a good glue like the Model Masters liquid cement for plastic models. It'll go through the paint and attach the ABS to the ABS. It works really well for that. And in fact, if you got the time, because it does take a little while to set up, any of the parts, they'll actually hold better using this glue than it will CA. Next thing we need to do is install the dash or the instrument panel. It's not very big. I've made it where it will lock in place. You can go ahead and you can add, we will have a gun sight that will be mounted up here, so you can add anything else you want to, like toggle switches in here, anything like that. But to fit this in the airplane, it's kind of hard to see right now, but anyway, you come in here and we'll go behind and lay it at a backward angle and then pull it into place. There's two stringers in the fuselage you have to get behind. But anyway, you see I've got it pulled. I'll stick the lip, the top of it just under this lip here, and then push it back into place. That will lock it in, and once you've figured out where you're going to put it, then you can glue it in place. Another thing, like I've shown in the past, on the back of the instrument panel, I would put a piece of 3/32 or 1/16 inch balsa just to line that and make it a little bit more rigid. Once you have that in place, you can see down through there that there's an opening. There'll be a piece of ABS supplied in the kit. It'll be big enough to do the rear and the front. You just need to go in from the back side, and while it's still white, mark it so you can fit it into place. And there's that lip all the way around that it will lock in place. Once you do that, you just put your liquid cement on it, and then put it in place, and it will set up there. The next thing we have to do, there's a two-piece gun sight. There's the holder that's made in the correct shape to fit this, you have to put the clear lens on it. There'll be a piece of clear plastic provided. You just have to mark it and cut it. I still haven't painted the rear of this. This is the padding, so I got to paint it brown. But that will glue right here onto the front. That'll give you your gun sight. The last thing you do is install your cockpit seat and also the joystick. I seem to have misplaced it, but anyway, that's the last two things, because you really can't put your hands down in there well with those two pieces in place. So anyway, it's a real good addition to the airplane. Makes it look really interesting. Adds a little bit of to the whole look of it. Like I said, you can get a hold of Tomas at VQ Warbirds. He's carrying these, or if you have any particular questions, you can always get a hold of me through TyesPlanes.com. Hope you have a good time installing your cockpit.